What's up, Champions fam? It's Zeke 410 back with a brand new video. Now, we are just going to be talking about a couple of things that have transpired since my last video, and I hope that you're all having a great time. First and foremost, Showdown. Showdown has actually been a very fascinating weekend for me, to say the least, just because I've had fun with it and just with getting creative. As you can see, I'm running the Attitude Era link right now, but it's a unique one because we finally have the click. We have reunited the Heartbreak Kid and Big Daddy Cool Diesel, but it's a little different. We got D-Generation X and the NWO. Just going to be cleaning, sweeping through some people just to get some additional points and to make some content for you all. I hope that you've had a great grind. And I had a community post the other day where it was DX HBK alongside Trickster Bret Hart, the D-Generation Foundation. I wonder what has been the craziest showdown tag team you've ever had to utilize, just because of requirements or just for some shenanigans just to get through content. Me personally, like I said, knowing the history of the Montreal Screwjob, knowing what has transpired in wrestling history, in mythos and lore and fact, in reality, it was just cool just to have that tandem of HBK and Bret Hart just to get some points, knock out the requirements and get some more hits on the NWO. You can also get HOF Hall of Fame links in. There literally were some solid requirements for this past weekend. And I'm not mad about that at all. So I think it was fair to a lot of people. Stevie Ray. I love Stevie Ray. It was so good to find out he was going to be the first mega superstar of this MLC. If you only knew the history of Harlem Heat, it was dope to finally get Booker T. And someone corrected me too. I have to shout him out. Your name doesn't come to mind at the moment, so forgive me, broski. But pointing out the simple fact that there actually are 5 Booker T's in the game is pretty dope, and all of them are free to play. I can't believe it, but broski shouted me out, and he was like, "Dude, you forgot about Hall of Fame Booker," and yes. He does count. So we started off with Attitude Era Technician Booker, a 5-time world champion. Then we got Attitude Era Showboat Booker T, Harlem Heat, Protect Gem Trainer. Then we got followed up after that with Hall of Fame Striker Booker T. And literally, either you got him or you didn't. And I'm absolutely cool with that. There's literally in Dokkan Battle, you have 1000 Day Goku, who's the best free-to-play LR in the entire game. And the only way you can get him is by consecutively logging into Dokkan for 1000 days. And that's how you get him. Booker T had the same situation when he brought in the Hall of Fame class. That was a dope moment. And they brought it in with Booker T. So that speaks a lot on the respect for Booker. And then, of course, we got Ruthless Aggression Trickster, King Booker, top 3 Trickster. He's going to be in the top 10 for a while. Let's just be real with how godbody he is. And, of course, we now have Attitude Era Powerhouse Booker T. Can you dig it? 5 Booker T's, all free to play. And we've literally seen the transition from, decent mid-tier tech who can hold your account down to you to pull someone better. Solid defensive juggernaut during the 3-star meta with the Harlem Heat Booker T. And again, they gave him love. They gave him gear for Yellow MP. They gave him a legendary strap for that yellow move damage. So again, to go back to show love to a free-to-play character you didn't have to, it has to be recognizable. Hall of Fame striker Booker T, Ruthless Aggression, and then King Booker. And now, can you dig it? And to get Stevie Ray to come into this game during this for his brother, come on. I love history of it tying together. We had the No Way My Via Legacy link, and now here we are once again with another show of love with Harlem Heat, one of the most, prestigious tag teams in the wrestling world. Hands down, the work that they put down in WCW. All I have to say now that we got Harlem Heat Booker, we have NWO Hollywood Stevie Ray, okay, coming in with generating more botch gems. Another Arn Anderson, another Tech Brett in the game. And I love that Stacy Keibler and Stevie Ray both kind of play a role when it pertains to free-to-play Booker with the botch gems and everything being implemented. I love when things like that like link up, they sync up. I love when situations happen like that because this literally makes it like this. If you never seen New Jack City, Nino Brown, Am I My Brother's Keeper? Stevie Ray definitely is providing more botch gems for Booker T. I love it. And I like different combinations of characters. We've seen it before with Lex Luger being a powerhouse utilizing botch gems. But to have Booker T now coming into the game, a far more, in my opinion, solid and formidable, well-rounded powerhouse. I like that he's getting that nod with the botch gems too, and he can get busy cycling. His gameplay is immaculate on another level. Stevie Ray coming in the game is cool, but it does raise one question for me now. It does raise a question because there's a lot of people in this game that were managed by her, and I think if we're going to be paying love to Starcade, WCW, NWO's Revenge, Booker T, Harlem Heat, where is Sensational Sherry? Sensational Sherry should debut in this MLC. It's a long stretch, it is, but I would like to see it for my eyes. Just because Harlem Heat, that classic, y'all know what I'm about to say. This tag link is interesting. The former Harlem Heat, Red Moves, he's his brother's keeper. He's a trainer for him, botch gem wise, and buffing his red move damage. You know how dangerous powerhouses are with their move damage, right? Buffing it to another extent, having the link for NWO, let alone Attitude Era, this makes him a very viable side unit. And what I mean is this, you could easily, I'm sorry that I called him a striker, he's obviously a powerhouse. You can easily see that Stevie Ray was built to be an asset to Booker T. And I like when MLCs are done like this. If you pay attention to certain MLCs, they'll do something where you'll have the free-to-play unit, you'll have the chase unit, and then you'll have the mega superstars. And one way or the other, sometimes, not often, they'll have it where all the abilities of the featured units of that month long either benefit the free-to-play or the mega, or the chase. And I like when you do stuff like that. It's kind of like forming Voltron, or like making a Megazord. Each champion plays a piece. And lo and behold, now that you can use 2 trainers, 2 coaches, and a promoter, it technically is like forming Voltron. One's the head, one trainer is the head, one promoter is the arm, one's the leg, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So I love when characters are rolled out like this, and Harlem Heat finally being put together, even though it's NWO Hollywood, Stevie Ray, they still have a Harlem Heat tag team link, and that is all that matters. That is beautiful. I just love when things mesh up like that, but I gotta also address the elephant in the room, y'all. The elephant in the room. What happened? I'm actually really hurt because we just found out we got some more releases. Now, I was just talking in my last video about Keith Lee and how good Keith Lee could be for this game as a top-tier king powerhouse and, choosing your skill plates, whether you want to future-proof in the sense of long-term, I'm going to get the skill plate for a champion I know I'm going to keep pulling for until I get him, or going for the surefire guarantee. Like I said with Drew, I didn't know what I was going to do with that Honky Tonk Blues, but I decided to put it on Drew, just like I got the bad attitude on Seth, helps them cycle. And one thing that actually threw me off when I looked at my skill plates is I didn't even know that I had the smoke skill plate. I don't even recall when I got this, and I'm not even going to question it. And now that I remember, I got to go back and get Godfather straight so I can put that Godfather's Mojo skill plate on him. Definitely have to, I have to run that back for sure. I didn't even think about that until I looked at it and like, I got to get my Godfather straight for that farming whenever I want to do that. But we got some more releases. Now, I was already heartbroken when my boy Wyndham, yes, a lot of people can't say it. Barry Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, when they let him go, and to see how they were trying to portray Bray, it literally made it so disgusting. It reminds me of how they went about CM Punk's release. I don't like seeing WWE, growing up on WWE, and my childhood be tainted in the sense that you see the harsh realities that you didn't see when you were a kid. And now with the internet being the way it is, highly accessible to everybody, it's easy to be up to speed on things compared to how it used to be back in the day. Before, you had to wait for a magazine to drop, or when the internet was still bubbling, people might get the cheat sheets or something and let you know what's going on. Now it's right in your face. There isn't no break from, oh, this just happened. We got more releases, and some of these releases actually hurt me because it genuinely made no sense. One of them that is the most shocking to me, that bothers me the most, because I just got her to 9K. Ember Moon, one of the greatest talents, trained by Booker T. If you know, you know. Booker T trained Ember Moon the same way Shawn Michaels trained Daniel Bryan. It's crazy to me that they let her go. The momentum, the talent WWE is letting go is hurting me. Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux, they were a package deal. Karrion Kross, Killer Kross, when he came to NXT, they booked him like a monster. What did they decide to do? You have him debut on the main roster, you have him come in as NXT champion, and you have him lose to Jeff Hardy. Now, there's nothing against Jeff because I love Jeff Hardy. Can't you see the writing on the walls? I'm still waiting for a Jeff Hardy charismatic enigma because they know it could happen. They know it could sell. But beyond that, man, Karrion Kross was dead on arrival after that. And with them separating him from Scarlett, first they were saying Scarlett was being trained as a singles competitor, and she has done that. She's proven she can do the in-ring work. She's not the greatest worker, but she's consistent. To have that pairing. That pairing, to me, personally, reminds me of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. It reminds me of Lady Elizabeth, Miss Elizabeth, and Randy Savage. Both of you, rest in paradise. Certain male and Triple H and China. There's certain pairings of male and female wrestlers when they come out together. Andrade Almas and Zelina Vega. You get it. You love it. You respect it. Whether you cheer or boo, they do their job. And when Scarlett and Karrion Kross came out together, the mystique, the chemistry was beautiful. When they put Karrion Kross up there, and I want y'all to also peep this. This is going to be another long video to make up for time. I literally think Karrion Kross was literally given Ric Flair's Spartacus gimmick. Hear me out on this, okay? Ric Flair, back in the day, talked about how when he was in WCW, and this led to him coming to WWF with a single tear in my eye, surviving the Royal Rumble, winning the WWF title. He literally went through this thing where when he was at WCW, they wanted him to change his gimmick. He couldn't be the Nature Boy no more. They wanted him to become a gladiator. They wanted him to shave his head, cut his hair, and call himself Spartacus. He told him, "You can go F yourself." And they told him to send them the belt. He said, "No, I already got a retainer on the belt. I'm going to keep the belt." And that's how we had that WWF moment. Wait, yeah, I just dropped a gem on you. Karrion Kross comes into WWE by himself without Scarlett. They have him as a gladiator, straps and everything. I literally feel, because after that plane ride from hell stuff and everything, and Flair's too, they said it. Jim Ross, JR said it. Oh, well, you know, Ric Flair, he's one of the guys. He was untouchable. There was nothing we could do. So after that embarrassment, they gave it to Karrion Kross. As me, I know, conspiracy theory, but I think that's kind of crazy that literally when I look at Karrion Kross with that gladiator stuff, all I thought about was the Ric Flair story about becoming Spartacus, and then here we are with that. You don't let him come in strong. You don't let him win his first match against Jeff. Have him go back to NXT. Everyone's saying you got beat by Jeff. How can you be an intimidating force by that? You no longer got your wife beside you. You come up to the main roster, and here you are as a gladiator. Literally, you could have came into the game. They literally could have treated Karrion Kross the same way they treated Brock Lesnar. He could have literally came right into the WWE main roster. And yes, the NXT, in my opinion, is the main roster. It's the third brand. But at the end of the day, we look at SmackDown and Raw for purists. He could have easily came on to Raw or SmackDown, been built up like a monster. He could have ended Bobby Lashley's reign. He could have ended Roman Reigns' reign. And it could have been a no-nonsense type thing like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was great on the mic. He had Scarlett. He had the eye candy. He had the in-ring talent. He had the no-nonsense style and technique. And they ruined it. They botched it. Frankie Monet. Formerly known as Taya Valkyrie, for those of you who don't know, the wife of Johnny Morrison, Johnny Drip Drip. Incredible talent. I don't know why they let her go, because her charisma and her journeywoman career speaks for itself. And I was at a loss on that one. They let go of a lot of good people that just left me baffled. I couldn't believe it. They got rid of B-Fab, who was a part of Hit Row with Adonis, Top Dollar, and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Could have easily had a new female in there. Didn't have to be a champion. Didn't have to be a champion, but could have been a solid competitor. Someone to build people up. She could have been a new Sean Waltman, right? She could have easily done that type of thing for females. Or just kept on building her up or have her play the manager role. There were many ways they could have gone with it. They opted not to do that. One that isn't surprising to me, but is unfortunate nonetheless, because I know everyone gives her flack. And, it is what it is. I understand. Nia Jax. There, like, in the game, when you think about it, there was potential for another Nia. After she punched Becky, we could have easily gotten a modern era striker Nia Jax. With the different outfits and decor that she had, the different costumes she's had, she could have had more than just one. She easily could have had more than just one. And even though she was a dangerous worker, the things that she did outside the ring, just like Titus O'Neil, what she did outside the ring spoke volumes of her character as an individual and a human. And that's what it is sometimes. It ain't just, oh, she sucks in the ring. Oh, she's a big girl. Calm down, because look at what Piper Niven is doing. Dewdrop. They're girls of awesome Kong. It ain't always about being the fine petite. You don't gotta be, that one of a kind. You like Luna or China aesthetic. You could have your own way and have your own talent. And Nia, literally on her way out, was starting to do some of her best work, in my opinion, regardless of the shoot fight with Charlotte. It was just unfortunate to see that they let her go too, because you got to think, regardless of how you feel about the character, they're humans. Their 9 to 5 is what we see every day while we're working in in supply warehouses, okay, storage warehouses, working in grocery stores, schools, different administrative buildings of different echelons. Whether you're doing things that are private or public, everybody has to live. Everyone has to survive. And wow, that's actually dope. I'm going to check that out just because the names I saw: Booker T, Undertaker, and The Rock. It's The Rock month on WWE's channel on YouTube. Make sure to check out a lot of his great moments. A lot of great moments, because I'm a mark for my boy. But to see her go, it's still sad. And like I said, everybody works. So, these are lives. Like, it isn't just the character being let go. These are people. These are people who have families. They got mouths to feed. They got people to take care of and support. And it's just unfortunate. But the one that got me stuck, the one that got me looking sideways, especially after just talking about him, Keith Lee. Keith Lee and Karrion Kross are literally, like I said, you could put Keith Lee on Raw, send Karrion over to SmackDown, and they could have both steamrolled everybody up to WrestleMania and taken the belts off of Lashley or Reigns, had that been the situation. Whoever was the champion. You could have easily had long-term booking of these unstoppable forces. Because you know what? Sometimes you don't always need, I get it, you need people that are good on the mic. Keith Lee and Karrion Kross are immaculate on the mic. You need people that the fans can interact with, negative or positive, right? People pop for Keith Lee. They loved when his bask in his glory, for he is limitless. Karrion Kross, the end is near. Fall and pray. You literally got two different pops. You knew who was good. You knew who was bad. You could have easily built them up. Two different reactions. You would boo for Karrion Kross holding up that Universal title over the tribal chief beaten down because Brock Lesnar didn't come through or The Rock didn't come through. And Kross said, time's up. Tick-tock. And you could have easily had Keith Lee standing unfazed, not going up against Lashley before a pay-per-view title defense. Could have easily had Keith Lee shrugging off a spear, getting back up and looking at Lashley and then pouncing his ass. Could have done it. Wrote itself. Keith Lee had Mia Yim. Karrion Kross had Scarlett. John Morrison had Frankie. You could have easily put her back with Morrison. TNA. It's sad when when Impact Wrestling can do a character better than the WWE, and the WWE is supposed to be the Mecca. Think about that. They handled Bobby Lashley better than WWE did initially with Bobby Lashley's return. They handled Kross better, Morrison better than they were handled in the WWE. And even though Jeff Hardy had his slip-ups in TNA, he was handled with creative control when he was with Matt. It was magic. And Willow. Everyone's looking for Willow. They gave us back No More Words. They gave us back the theme song, but did Jeff start winning? No, he did not. And I get it. He's an elder statesman. People would love to see Jeff get the belt one more time. To hear that No More Words. To see him stand tall. People would love to see Willow show up in the WWE. But guess what? More than likely, it's not going to happen. And there are a lot of great talents that were let go on NXT. There are even talents that were getting trained to be on the main roster let go and released. Stone Cold. And because of budget cuts. Like I stated earlier about Bray Wyatt and CM Punk. How come it's always about budget cuts and then months later or weeks later, they'll come out with this stuff deconstructing, crucifying one individual's name for the sake of the company? You couldn't just say, we parted ways, agree to disagree, right? We couldn't do that. But instead, we're going to destroy a man or woman's character, destroy what they've invested in, destroy what they've built up over years of their career, putting their lives on the line because they just didn't fit the mold for you. You felt that they didn't, Keith Lee's a big boy. Well, let's put some spandex on him. Let's cover up his pecs because he's not the way we look at him. He's not no Rock. He's not Goldberg chiseled. He isn't Batista. But he's still Keith Lee. The same way Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens. The same way that Sami Zayn's Sami Zayn. You want to know why I named those two? Because those are two guys that are also characters that I feel could have been done better, done right, got screwed over. And I want to let y'all in on a little something. The same way that Kyle O'Reilly's contract's about to expire. And we know where he's at, where his buddy Bobby Fish went, AEW. Look, man, Andrade is over in AEW. Talk about Mount Rushmores, right? Talk about Mount Rushmores. Talk about legacies. Kevin Owens is a guy tenfold who could have easily been WWE champion by now. Doesn't fit the build. But you know what's also crazy? As soon as he removed Triple H, he literally dismantled everything that Triple H did. All the people that Triple H got into the WWE. A lot of people don't know this. As much as you hate Triple H and his golden shovel, Triple H also paid homage back to the gods. Triple H also gave back to the future and the culture because he paid attention. Without Triple H, you wouldn't have AJ Styles in there. Without Triple H, you wouldn't have Kevin Owens. You wouldn't have Sami Zayn. You wouldn't have Shinsuke Nakamura. Cena. You wouldn't have Finn Balor. You wouldn't have Brock Lesnar back in the WWE if it wasn't for Triple H working his magic. Triple H was the reason why a lot of these talents came to the WWE. And look what Vince did. Triple H literally proved that he could take over the company. And Vince said, nope, I'm going to shut your stuff down. I'm going to take your black and gold brand, chuck it to the side, and I'm going to throw some spray paint on it, and we're going to call it a day. Kevin Owens' contract is about to expire. And he posted a thing easily a while back of Mount Rushmore for Ring of Honor. If you don't know what it was, who Ring of Honor's Mount Rushmore was for a time, it was the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, Adam Cole, baby, and Kevin Owens. Or should I say, Kevin Steen. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin's gone in a couple of months. It's heartbreaking, man, because people don't think about how this affects the overall game experience. There's people that you were looking forward to coming into the game, and now they're not going to come into the game. There's people that are in the game that you hope that you're going to be able to pull, and now you're going to be on a situation just like Aleister Black with Keith Lee. What are they going to do? I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be that guy. If they end up doing a deal like they did with Aleister Black, selling him for like 3-star gold or 4-star bronze, but the make sure you got him before you get him, I am going to buy that because I liked Keith Lee. I support Keith Lee. And you know what? I don't even care if they nerf him just because he's going to be out of the WWE. I would still want to have him on my roster because I loved that character and I love his work before WWE, during WWE, and I'm looking forward to see what comes after WWE. Now, a lot of people are already saying that The Fiend is headed to AEW because he made it. Wyndham did this whole post where he was like, what do we do now? Where do we go? And everything. And everyone's like, if you look at how the lines are, the words are lined up, it says AEW. We know where we're going. He has had talks with Hollywood because he's just an incredible creative talent. He's also a guy that he can cross so many genres and influences. I can easily see The Fiend is literally a character you could have seen be in a horror movie and you've been cool with it. The whole story and everything could have easily been a movie, and I know people would go and support it. Off of his support from the wrestling world alone, I know the movie would sell. It would be a cult classic, if anything. And then Impact with the creative freedom they could give him there. I know Braun Strowman, he's been telling people like, yo, it's time for us to get back together, brother. Because for those of y'all who don't know, Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. Okay, here's something that some of you may not even know, and this is just some real stuff. All the Wyatt family were legit like best friends. They literally became brothers. The same way the Shield are brothers. Even if Roman Reigns attacks AEW, Moxley, praying for Mox with his recovery, rehab is a beautiful thing. I've been there myself. I'm praying for you, brother. Anyone who needs help for their mental stability or their livelihood, like I've mentioned in the past, seek that help. And I'm proud of Moxley being a father and a husband and a man, above all things, taking care of himself and doing what's best for him. And I'm praying for nothing but the best. But just like the Shield, even if they shoot shots at each other, real life, they're friends. They're brothers. They get along. You might be on different camps. The same way you had DX against NWO. So Hall and Nash on one side, HBK and Triple H on the other. You beefing, but it's entertainment. There's still love. And that's what it is with Bray. So Bray, Braun, Rowan, and Harper, RIP. They were all best friends in real life. You on the road with each other long enough, you like Harper and Rowan were dropping gems on Bray and Braun, bringing them up to speed, helping them out. I mean, even The Undertaker and Kane, all the big men of legend, they all played a role with helping those guys get better. They were invested in them. And everyone's saying that Braun and Bray might reunite on Impact. But look at how it is, me fantasy booking this, hear me out. Everyone said for a while, they straight up said that Bray, one of the reasons why he was gone near the end was because of what he was dealing with the loss of Luke Harper. Hear me out on this, because I know this is WWE Champions. I know I'm not with Scopely. I would love to see Bray go to AEW and take over the Dark Order. I would love him to debut as Wyndham and take over the Dark Order and win the world title down the road in memory of Harper. And if they could, I would love to see Braun and Rowan come into the Dark Order and make that like a force of its own. Because you got to think, just like you have the elite, you know, you got the elite with Omega, the Young Bucks, you got Adam Cole now, right? And then you got, you know, the Pinnacle, you got Jericho stable, okay? You got solid stables, but each of them all have names. Dark Order is a squad, and they got people, and Adam Hangman Page is there. There's no denying that. I love what their intro paying homage to the Dark Order. I loved that. I loved it all. But at the end of the day, man, I would love to see Bray come into AEW and win the title in memory of Harper, or give it to Silver or somebody close. I would love to see that happen, but man, all these releases, it just puts a damper on the day for a lot of us. A lot of great talents were let go for quote-unquote budget cuts, and it's not right. Again, like I said, whether you loved them, hate them, if you booed, if you cheered, they served their purpose. And nobody, you know, losing your job and knowing that you got a 90-day no-compete clause, meaning you can't do anything, you know, that's when you pray like people were smart. People put money away to the side. People had stuff stocked up for a rainy day situation, because you never know, right? And it was just unfortunate. Rolling into this showdown weekend, again, I'm happy Harlem Heat's together. I'm happy Booker T's getting his flowers more. I love when certain wrestlers get their flowers, like just like they're doing the Rock's month, right? They could easily do something for The Undertaker. They could easily do something like that for Mick Foley again. They could easily do the same. There's a lot of superstars that have built up that rapport. They could do a thing for Edge. Tag teams, they could easily roll out something like that, similar for like if Road Warriors, Legion of Doom came out. You could literally run them both ways. You could come out as Legion of Doom and as the Road Warriors, Animal and Hawk. People go in it. People seeing Braun Breaker, the Steiner brothers, maybe Big Papa Pump's coming. We don't know yet, but the possibilities are there. Maybe we're going to see Big Bad Boy Dog Rick showing up. I don't know, but the possibilities are endless in this game. And it's unfortunate that sometimes, you know, the speculation has to be cut short, because there's so many people that have yet to get into the game, because we know that they're always ahead with how they're rolling out the events and the characters they're laying out. But, you know, it's still unfortunate when you got potential, like, hey, we could drop this person, and then they're like, nah, like, that's done. We can't do it. And we have to accept that as a part of the community, as players, like, hey, you're not going to get Karrion Kross. I remember when I said I would love to pull for Killer Kross. I would love to see him as a modern era striker. I would have loved to see a modern era trickster, Scarlett Bordeaux, as a promoter or a coach or trainer for him. I would have loved to see that rollout. We're not going to get that now. I would have loved to see Frankie Monet come in. We're not going to get that now. I would have loved to see a new Keith Bearcat Lee. We're not going to get that now. So I'm grateful for what we've gotten. I'm disappointed in what transpired, but I'm praying more for the individuals that were truly affected by it. Because at the end of the day, we're just fans. But those were their livelihoods. Amazing talents. Again, if you cheered or you booed, they did their job. And that's what matters most. But I'm praying that everything turns around for them, the same way that I pray everything's turning around for you. But y'all let me know. And one thing that I want to say too, one thing that champions could do, Furpo, if any of you content creators that are in the Scopely content creator group, if you're watching this video, could you at least send this message out? And it's a thought. I'm putting it out there. On Dokkan Battle, I mentioned this before. They have events called Easy A's, Extreme Z Awakenings. And on Fate Grand Order FGO, they have missions or stages called rank up missions. And basically what these are, they're missions that take old units and make them better. Now, on the rank up mission on FGO, it's literally like a couple nodes, a couple difficult nodes. You clear it, you unlock new abilities and skills and buffs for your servants. On Easy A Awakenings, it's the same thing. You go through 30 stages. You can actually keep on grinding stages after 30, but you complete the first 30 stages, the first 3 sets of 10. And once you've gotten all those stages cleared, not only do you get rewards, such as things that help boost your characters and their strengths, but you also get, dragon stones, so you can use them to summon characters and do pulls. But you also get medals that rank up old characters to make them viable again. Now, I mentioned before, they did this for Greg the Hammer Valentine. They did the whole rework thing. They had the tour and stuff out for him. You get through it, boom, you were good to go. They also did the overnight where they had Trickster Big Show get a buff, Powerhouse Mark Henry get a buff. They changed certain people overnight to make them far more viable and accessible to people's accounts, because you were more than likely to have Mark Henry on your account than you were Motu Macho Man. You were more likely to have Trickster Big Show on your account than a Zombie Aleister Black or a Mem Rock, right? So what they could do in Champions is make 30 stages for these older units that are in the game, and it doesn't have to be every unit, but certain people that stand out. Like, for instance, they got one right now where they got Easy A areas where you can do multiple units, right? And then you have regular Easy A's. So for one, here's something that I could do. Let me break it down to you. John Cena, PG, Showboat, Hustle, Loyalty, Respect, right? They did the same for Showboat Rock, People's Champ, free-to-play unit. They could literally have 30 stages of John Cena, Hustle, Loyalty, Respect. Each time you beat a stage, you get some coins. You get some Showboat tokens. But every couple stages, it goes up in difficulty. So let's say first stages, you're going up against John Cena, and you have to, maybe they do some crazy requirement. You normally in Easy A's on DBZ, Dokkan Battle, you can literally run any team you want. But the Easy A areas is when you need the required characters, because normally Easy A areas are the free-to-play units. So you get where I'm going with this. You could easily have 30 stages where you fight John Cena at 3-star gold. And then next up, he goes up to 4-star bronze. Then he goes up to 4-star silver, 4-star gold, 5-star bronze, 5-star silver. In the last 5 stages, you go up against him at 5-star gold, right? But normally each time the stages go up in Dokkan Battle, the health gets a little higher. The damage gets a little higher. Maybe you pull out some stuff he's not supposed to do. He's a Showboat who has the possibility of dodging your move like a Trickster. He's a Showboat, but he has the possibility of dodging gem damage like an Acrobat. You can do stuff, or he gets in his lower red, right? And then immediately, as soon as he gets to the halfway point, the Berserker phase, like how we had Naomi and all those characters, where when the character gets hit and for a set amount of damage and their health goes down, they get like their boosted damage. He could get the halfway health, and then he gets that Berserker additional damage. And we know how Showboats get busy at 5-star gold. So let's say each stage you go up, you get some coins. You can work your way up from 100,000 coins to 500,000 coins to 1 million coins to 5 million coins. You're getting X star type tokens for each, but all specifically for that class. So you go up again, you do a rank up for this one, you're getting Showboat. So the very last, the third stage, the final stage, the 30th stage, you beat 5-star gold John Cena, 1, 2, 3. He doesn't get out. You get rewarded a guaranteed 5-star Emerald Showboat token. I think in-game players, pay-to-play players, free-to-play players who like a challenge would eat this stuff up. You're taking a character, you're buffing them up for each stage you're doing, you're increasing the improvement overall quality of how that character works. So the whole time you're doing this at these 30 stages, not only are you getting these rewards for your account, but you're actually buffing your John Cena. You see what I mean? Each phase you get to a certain part and you get to use a certain specialty item or something, and that buffs your Cena. So when you're done those 30 stages, he's completely rebuffed. He's completely reworked, and you earned it. And then the Easy A area route, the same thing. Like I say this for all the classes. So for instance, we did Cena, right? We did Cena for Showboat. Okay? Then what if we did just like how they came out with gear for Kane? What if we got a tech buff for Cesaro. Cesaro had a nice little main event push. Buff him up. You get to the 30th stage of his, you're walking away with all these tech tokens, all of these coins, all this green TP, and you walk away with a guaranteed 5-star Emerald Technician token. One token, yeah, but it's a guaranteed token. You bypass the RNG of opening the case. You clear those 30 stages of an acrobat rework, boom. You're getting that headdress. Boom. You're getting that nimble. Boom. You're getting this. You're getting that. That's what they should do. And then when it comes to the Easy A area, the Easy A area idea, where they use free-to-play units, right? You use free-to-play characters to complete it, and you're buffing all these characters all at once. Imagine if they did an NWO Easy A area, where you rework 6. You buff 6, an old unit, one of the original zombie Austin counters. You get through the stages, he gets a buff. Throw in some other characters from the NWO, like Technician Booker T, freaking legend, Rick Rude. You know, like people like that, people who hold those links. You do reworks. Bret Hart. You put all these characters that are like all these characters that fit the bill. All these characters that fit the bill for the NWO free-to-play units. People would do it. Especially free-to-play characters. But then there also are Easy A's that they do for characters that you have pulled. So imagine if they decided, just like we got all these gears, right? We got all of those gears now. Imagine if they did a rework for somebody like AJ Styles. Not just getting multiple gears. Not just having multiple gears. But they completely reworked him. People would do it. Out of respect, people would do it. The same way they reworked Striker Undertaker. Same way they've done ABA Undertaker. You could go back to these units. 30 stages, clear it. Guaranteed Acrobat 5-star Emerald token. Guaranteed 5-star Emerald Powerhouse token. So on and so forth. Collecting all that specific class TP tokens and coins as you get up to 30. Maybe you make it go past 30. I know on Dokkan Battle you can keep on going. You no longer get the medals. You no longer get the stones or whatever. But you get coins. You get coins to invest in your superstars, your characters. They can do the same here. So coins are never, ever a problem again, alongside the daily claim, alongside the additional stuff. This is the type of stuff you think about, because there are times where we have dead periods, where we have a couple 2-week-long contests, or, a whole month of 1-week-long contests. There's that possibility. You could have those droughts, and we could have things where we're working on rebuffing people. We run these type of Easy A's, these upgrades for these characters, these superstars, and everybody wins. Everyone wins. But it's a thought, man. This is one of those long videos. I'm sorry to hold y'all up, but it's unfortunate, everything that transpired. But I'm praying for the best, and you should already know what I'm going to say. Hey, yo. Bad times don't last, but champions do. Mad love always and forevermore to each and every single one of you, of my beloved #champions fam. Make sure to drop a people's elbow on that subscribe button, as well as hit a razor's edge on that bell icon to receive all future notifications from this channel. Make sure to like the video, dislike the video, share it, subscribe, spread the word. Let's just talk it up. Let's chop it up. Bad Guys Alley, still subject to change. If y'all leave y'all questions down in the comments below, I got you covered. If not, it is what it is. But Showdown was a solid weekend. I was able to take care of business. I was able to get busy with it, knock out some things. And it was a good time. I wasn't really worried about maxing it fully out. I just wanted to get some resources back. And, I had a good time doing it. Had a lot of great fun just chopping it up, paying attention to the Discord chat of my Phoenix Risers fam, and just looking at the topics that were coming up, and yeah, there's always going to be issues when it comes to showdowns, let on anything in the game, because that's any mobile game. Nothing's perfect. No one's perfect. But at the end of the day, I think everyone had a pretty solid showing this weekend, and a pretty solid banner to pull in. If you got pull on, if you got Stevie Ray from the bags, cool. If not, it is what it is. At least you tried, and at the end of the day, at least you know you got some shards of them instead of nothing at all. So when it's all said and done, y'all, this was a solid showdown weekend, but it was quite frankly overshadowed by the loss of so many incredible talents, and I wish them nothing but the utmost best moving forward. So with that being said, y'all, I hope that y'all had a blessed weekend. I hope y'all have an incredible week ahead of you, and stay tuned for a new video. Bad Guys Alley, whether that's the next video or not, up is going to be up to you. But at the end of the day, best believe there is some new content coming out. Make sure to check out the links down below for the gameplay for Stevie Ray. And with that being said, y'all, one love, and until next time, peace.